Oops. Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, well, thank you for coming back. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and get some cards for us. It's been a crazy productive morning thus far. How about for you guys? Okay. It's a lot of cards. Let me shuffle this deck. Okay, so I asked what this reading was going to be about. And what I heard is, oh, that's the wrong live stream, is it not? Hold on, guys. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Because I'm fabulous, is why. I'm fabulous. Okay. I pinned the wrong link on YouTube. On Facebook, I mean, not on YouTube, on Facebook. Where is it at? Okay, here. Anywho, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I heard we're finishing off cycles and welcoming some goodness in life, just welcoming some goodness, welcoming some love, welcoming some blessings, welcoming a whole bunch of things. Ooh, I feel something profound starting in my heart. Okay, something huge is going to happen in the next 24 hours. Something huge is going to happen in the next 24 hours. Mark my words. All right. So these two are ready. Mika Ellis says I got to pull from this deck right here. Okay. So here goes. Here goes. All right. Here goes. All righty. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Let's get started. Just going to shuffle this one more time. Okay. All right, guys. Third deck. Should I read to you guys from the Nag Hammadi today? The Nag Hammadi. I learned my lesson yesterday. Yeah, something huge is going to happen in the next 24 hours. Maybe up to 48, but 24. Maybe 48 because it's going to take a whole effing day, a whole hot diggity day for it to for you to realize. For you to realize exactly just went down. It's going down, 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 down. It's really going down. Okay, let's just pull cards. You ain't got to do all that singing, all that jazz. Okay. I'm over here woosahing. Okay, all right. Just to mix it up and not let Michael have the satisfaction, I'm cutting these decks in half again. That's what he wanted me to do in the first place. I don't know. All right, let's get started. Here goes. Cause and effect. Oh my goodness. this causation and effect that's about to take place, this speaking into being something amazing. But first, we had to let go of some really, really difficult things to let go of. Now that we've let that go, everything everything's on track. Everything's on track, and everything is going to go the way it's intended to go. Time to reflect. We have to take a moment to look back, though. Okay. We've let go of some things. Do we know what we've let go of? Are we aware of exactly what's happened? And have we taken the time to contemplate on why these things had to happen? I'm assuming you had to let go of someone who was a lesser reflection of you. Ooh. Mhm. Someone who is a lesser reflection of you. To me, that type of concept, it communicates this reality that you had to let go of a person who kept dragging you down, who kept being the very weights that you put on the basket so that the hot air balloon doesn't rise. Now that those weights are gone, it's time for you to rise. But first, you have to reflect so that you understand why you had to let go of what you had to let go of. The thing with Pisceans and empaths, we don't like to reflect on things too much. We like to kind of just be in this space of experience and then denial or avoidance. I'm sorry to call us out this way, but that's kind of how we function primarily. That is primarily how we end up functioning, where we don't like to so deeply assess the reality of what's going on. When we assess, we have a tendency to kind of create a story in our head of worst case scenario, nobody likes us, and, all that jazz. It's not necessarily that nobody likes you, okay? It's that we don't like to see things in the way that they are if that's too painful. So we have to begin seeing things in the way that it is. Even if it's painful, you have to see it for what it is. What I've been learning for myself over the past at least like year or so um, is that, I have to take a good hard look at what's happening. I have to take a good hard look at why things are going the way they are. More than just me taking accountability for my actions for that cause and effect, I'm now needing to understand why things are going the way they are. And it's not because I'm a bad person. It's not because nobody likes me. It's because I'm learning something very, very specific about myself, my journey, my purpose. And if I'm not going to pay attention to what I'm learning, how am I going to learn it? I'm not. I'm not going to learn it. And so now comes the time for us to really just pause, take a good hard look at what's been going on. This is not about blame. This is not about, pointing fingers. This is not about saying this is all we deserve. This is all about reflection, that involution for your evolution. Embrace the dark. Embrace the things that are not easily seen, the things that are hidden away in the shadows. Embrace that about yourself, that you are a whole being with this richness that's hidden away in your, in your auric spaces. It's okay for you to have that type of wealth. Mm. It's okay for you to have that type of wealth, this wealth of life experience, this wealth of understanding, this wealth of knowing. It is a type of abundance that is so important to allow yourself to receive. We want abundance, but we define abundance as what? Money? Is that all it is? Is that the only thing you're abundant in? Okay, let's look at money really quick. Let's look at the US dollar. It's not backed by anything. It's false fiat. It's literally printed paper. It's not backed by anything. So if that's all you're abundant in, I mean, what's that tell you? If it's your goal to only be abundant in money and money is nothing but empty promises, it's a promissory note. For every bill, that is a promise that you get to take this much from my account. That's all it is. It is the equivalent of writing a little note on a Post-it. I owe you. I owe you this much. We have to allow our life to be something much more profound than just money. We have to allow our life to be something that's much more than just waiting for money to come in. Now, I'm not going to get on this high horse talking about money is the root of all evil. Money can be used to do quite a bit of really amazing things to heal other people, to help other people. It's all in the intent of the one that holds the purse. Let that sink in. It's all in the intent of the one that holds the purse. I remember for quite a few years, I felt that money was the root of all evil, and I would completely block my abundance. If I would get abundance in any way, shape, or form, I would give it away. I would cry. And I was so afraid of stepping into this purpose, stepping into this space where I allow my abundance to come in. And I thought I was so afraid because I thought to the depth of my core that if I were allow myself to become financially wealthy, that it would change me, that it would make me evil and greedy. Money does not do that. Money makes it easier for you to be who you are. It's the great amplifier. I don't have a greedy bone in my body. I'm the person that I could be starving, and if you ask me for my food, I would not even hesitate to give you all of it. That's literally how I am. It's kind of obnoxious, you know? There's been times where I've given my food away to homeless people, and I was, like, literally feeling sick already. I have this weird relationship with food. Um, I often don't feel hungry, but when I feel hungry, like, "You better feed me. You better feed me quick, or I'll feel sick." And I remember there were times where uh, I did that. I gave my food away, and that was irresponsible of me. I should not have done that. I could have shared, but I didn't have to give the whole thing away at the risk of me feeling sick. So I thought that if I martyred myself, if I committed myself to a life of poverty, like how we're taught by religion, I mean, what would you expect from me? I wanted to be a nun for a large portion of my life. That was my dream, to be a Carmelite nun and to just devote my life to the worship of God, right? And then I realized, I don't know that I'm supposed to be a Carmelite nun. I don't know that money is that evil. And I'm only learning the money portion of this lesson in the past maybe year or two. It's that recent that I've learned this, that I've begun to accept that, hey, if I'm really going to be doing the things that I'm doing, right? If I'm really going to be helping people to the depth that I feel in my heart I'm supposed to help, that's going to require money. And I've had instances where I've had money, not large quantities, but I've had money. And every time, what have I done with it? Have I bought myself like luxury items? No, I've spread that wealth. I've allowed myself to find my courage and spread the wealth as far as I possibly can. And I did that for quite a few years without hesitation. No one guilted me into that. That was not some preconceived plan, this cockamamie-ass plan of manipulating people to see me as a extremely altruistic humanitarian philanthropist. No, because most of that I did, it wasn't even shared with anyone. If you weren't present when I was with whoever I helped, then most likely you're not going to know about it. And I'm realizing all of these toxic things that I convinced myself were the truth, the way, the life, the path. It was all BS. People need to know the good things that I do so they can be inspired. People need to see humans being good to other humans. People need to see the process with which I receive a massive windfall and the way I use it. And that has nothing to do with me going without. That if I wanted to, I absolutely have a right to buy luxurious things if I want to. That's not really what I like. You know what I mean? That's not really what I like. So I'm probably not going to buy luxurious things. I'm probably going to continue to be who I am. Someone who wears the same comfy clothes from how many years now, driving the same car, and just being able to help more people because that's who I am. I think we need to take a look at who we are at this point. And don't be scared of finding a bad person because I hate to tell you this, but the bad people, the quote unquote bad people, they don't like me very much. I'm too honest. I'm too ballsy. So they don't like to be around me. They feel called out all the time whenever I live stream. And so they avoid me like my name was Rona. That's how I like it though. Avoid me. Understand what's good for you and your ego. It's definitely not going to be me because I will eviscerate that ego. So you understand we're all equals here. So when you share all of this time with me, you share space with me so consistently, that tells me intrinsically, you are a dang good person. A very, very good person. You share space with me and you don't ask anything from me, knowing that I give people pretty much whatever they want. And you don't ask anything from me. It's a hard thing for you to accept things that I offer. I mean, what more proof do you need? You're not a user. I got rid of those a long time ago. You're not a user. You are a good person in the process of returning back home where you can see in the mirror how good of a person you actually are. And that's why this space is so sacred to me. Ocean Lover says, even if you had the least or the most expensive car in the world, you would still be beautiful, humble, giving soul that you are. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. As an empath who has greatly struggled with imposter syndrome, I'm someone who has a really hard time receiving. I'm someone who has a really hard time even accepting compliments. Um, I've really entered into this space over the last few weeks of reaching even higher levels of gratitude. I've always lived with gratitude in my heart, always. That's just how I am. But reaching an even higher level of gratitude for all of you and your place in my life and my journey. The ways in which, without even knowing it, you continue to correct any distortions that begin to rise up. You continue to remind me of the gravity of the person that I am, that I am this person that is wholesome, that is good, that is authentic, that is real. And I cannot allow my insecurities to convince me otherwise, convince me of other stories that the storytellers would love to tell. These storytellers who try and convince you that you are the villain in their story. You know, their book sucks. Stop reading their book. It's not a bestseller. Heed your dreams. Ooh. Listen to your dreams. For some of you, your dreams are about to happen. They're about to come true in a way that's so profound, like you'll just be sitting there crying because you can't believe it. You can't believe that you've been given this opportunity and this type of abundance, because now you don't have to worry about things. You don't have to be concerned about this or that. You can focus strictly on developing yourself and living further in your purpose. This is a hard thing to say, but at the same time, it's not as hard anymore. I'm ready for my abundance to come in. I'm ready. I'm ready for an abundance that is hard for me to believe. Why? I'm ready to serve my purpose. In order to do all these things, I need to have some type of financial abundance. And I need to. It's not just I want to anymore. I need to serve my purpose. I need to be what so many people have been waiting for me to be. And here's the thing. These people who are waiting for me to be this, they don't even know what that is. They might not even know who I am yet. I 100% believe that every single one of us, we were prayed into existence. That at some point during the history of humanity, there were those who existed and prayed with all of their being for the answer to a problem that was crushing them. And it might have taken time. It might have taken multiple generations. But here you are, the living, breathing word, the living, breathing answer to that request for intercession. I mean, I don't know how you could continue to believe that you're not powerful if you accept that belief that I just shared. At some point, someone who didn't understand the gravity of what they were asking for asked for me to exist, asked for you to exist. I'm not going to drag my feet anymore. Excuse me. Maybe today is a day where you choose not to drag your feet anymore. Hush and listen. Take a deep breath. Take a very deep breath. Okay. The next 3 cards are going to determine how this goes. The next 3 cards. I'm nervous. Take a deep breath. Quiet yourself. 100% at 823. That fullness, that 100%, that wholeness reunification that guides you to starting a solid foundation, right? So let's see. Okay. Love your inner child. Allow yourself to receive. For many of us, because of our childhood, we were convinced by the people in our environment that we are a burden, that we don't necessarily deserve to receive, that we need to make sure that we don't make things more difficult, and all of these just really messed up things. And, we need to let that go. Those words and that treatment came from a person who didn't know any better. We're not trying to excuse their behavior. We're trying to heal beyond it. It will try to heal beyond. Now is the time to heal beyond that, okay? If we allow our inner child to let that go, it will try to heal beyond it. Reveal your truth. Stop hiding behind the wounds of the child. Stop hiding behind the trauma of the inner child. You got to stop, okay? Many of us don't even know we're doing this. For me personally, my inner child is not some helpless little toddler. My inner child wields daggers. Maybe for some of you, your inner child is just like mine, existing to protect the fragile adult. They can put their weaponry away. They can put it away now. Peace is on the horizon. That's what we are walking towards. Challenge your perception. So this is exactly what's going to determine how all of this goes. You have to challenge your perception of what your truth is. Is this truth filtered through the trauma lens of your inner child? These are the things, the components that will greatly affect the way this process works for you. Do you want love to enter? You have to stop being afraid of love. You have to stop being afraid of the vulnerability that's necessary to develop a love so profound. It feels like someone is waiting for love to enter. Open the door. That's all you have to do. Open the door. Open the door and allow yourself to let it in. The next 3 cards are going to tell us what happens when we situate these 3 things: your perception, your truth, and your inner child. We release our need for malice. We release our need for vindictiveness, for getting even. When you waste your energy on that, you waste your energy, period. That's a statement. When you waste your energy on trying to understand the toxicity of people, do you need to understand their toxicity? For me, that's wasted energy. Why do I need to understand something that I'm never going to aspire to be? Let's take a look at that. Why do I need to waste my energy to understand something that I never am going to aspire to be? If I don't ever want to be, if I don't ever want to be an artist, why would I take classes on painting and drawing and color theory and, what would I do with that? Nothing. When we waste our time, we waste our time. Anything that's a waste of your time is wasting your time. I mean, I just said the same thing over and over. How many of us actually took it in, though? How many? Right? We have to no longer waste our time. We have to no longer allow ourselves to exist in this space of not listening to the guidance from our soul. Okay. We have to be without malice. We have to allow ourselves to just move beyond. You know what? Someone did something horrible to me. Okay. They're not going to be in my life. All right. What's for dinner? What are our plans for today? And people might be like, oh my gosh, I mean, so like you can't act like you don't care. No, I didn't say I don't care. I'm caring about me at this point. I've identified you as someone who is willing and capable of harming me emotionally, mentally, for some, even physically. I'm good. That's all I needed, was to know you should not have access to me. I should not waste my energy on you. That's okay. Now I need to know what's for dinner. I want to make sure that it's going to be something good, Be of service. Ooh. Part of being of service is allowing yourself to receive. Part of being of service is allowing yourself to be witness in that process of receiving. Do you know how many people have such a hard time receiving? I mean, it's hard. It's very, very hard. The other like a few weeks back, it was my birthday, right? And Michael was talking about I should I should let people know that my birthday's coming up, and because I don't like to do that, and that if anyone wanted to get me a gift, that the only thing that I would be wanting or needing is donations towards the nonprofit. And oh my gosh, it was just like leaving that open for people to know, like, okay, you can donate here. And I couldn't even say it. Oh my gosh. I started crying so hard. I couldn't stop crying. And I'm just like, oh my God, why is this so hard? I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. Why is this so hard? I think it was so hard because I knew that you guys would actually give. That's hard. That's hard. It takes tremendous, tremendous trauma to create that much blockage. But is that all you're going to identify as a person who is traumatized? Baby, the world is traumatized. I'm traumatized. We can still be more than functional. We can thrive. We don't have to pretend we never had trauma. We don't have to pretend we've had this amazing, peaceful, gentle life. My life is so far from gentle. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I make poor decisions. It doesn't mean that I lack strength, courage. It doesn't mean that I lack integrity. It doesn't mean anything outside of life has been rough, quite a bit. It's been pretty rough with me. It hasn't been a bad life. It's just been rough. A lot of intensity. And I'm still as soft as I am. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I came across this video this morning and I gotta find it. I gotta find it. This guy, sorry. This guy, the video, he was yelling and yelling and yelling. Okay. He says, do you want to be a part of my life? Now you're going to have to effing prove it to me now. He's yelling. It was an intense video. And then he says, hold on. Nobody gets an effing free pass anymore. You want my trust? Earn it. He's yelling. You want my respect? Effing earn it. You want my effing love and time and energy? Effing earn it. Let me just. Nobody gets to ride this ride for effing free anymore. And I mean, I was watching that in the tub. That took away my peace. And I was like, yup, yup. And then I was like, no, girl, what are you yupping? Do you know that's not you? And I was like, oh, I feel bad for them. I wonder what happened. And then I got teary eyed because it's like, how many times has life brought me to the cusp of that thought, that feeling where it's like, effing earn it. And every single time I've pulled myself back. And I've chosen softness. I've chosen grace. I've chosen to be an expression of the ways in which I'm capable of loving and healing. I listened to that video and I'm like, whoever hurt you, leave them out of your life now. Walk forward. Allow the people who can hold you up, the people who can help to heal you. Allow them in. Have some discernment with who you allow into your life. Allow yourself to be very, very, very aware of people's intentions in your life. Intentions shift as you grow. So every once in a while, you have to reassess. Why is this person in my life? When circumstance occurs that causes you to question, that questioning is not evidence of your lack of loyalty. That questioning is evidence of your sovereignty. Question it. Question them. Allow yourself to understand why you are questioning. Something's happening, and it might be the rising of your trauma so that it can be cleared, or it might be the need to let someone go because now they've shifted into a place of malice, malice that's directed at you. And a lot of people who are malicious in a very quiet, very covert way. So covert that they only compliment the things that they don't like. Ooh. What level of covert manipulator will only compliment the things that they don't like? I'm just saying. Set it free. Let it go. Just let it go. Open the cage door and let it do whatever it does. Stop being afraid of losing the things that you probably should have never had. Just let it go. Open your hand. You don't have to throw it. You don't have to toss it. You don't have to act as though it's a hot potato. No, just open your hand. Let go. Made for motion. To me, this is a very clear message that you can't continue to stay in the same place, the same mind, the same heart, the same areas of those places within you that allow for the toxicity to continue to cycle. I was having a conversation with someone maybe 2 years ago. It was a very intense conversation. They were going through something very, very, very severe. Very severe. It was bad. I think they were on the cusp. They were deciding whether they wanted to continue to be in this life or not. They were on the cusp. I think that's why they reached out. And I distinctly remember they said to me, "My past haunts me." For me, it's very simple. Your past is a house you once lived in but have moved out of. Those ghosts, they don't follow you to the next home. Stop visiting old houses with memories of events that haunt you. Live in your new house. Have a new life. Allow yourself to receive and be and just allow. Just allow it. You know, there's been things that you've been told and they haven't been canceled. These things that your soul has told you that you'll experience, they haven't necessarily been canceled. They've just kind of been paused, delayed. If you're not in a place within yourself where you are developing the emotional, mental, energetic maturity to be able to handle what's been promised, your soul is not a blithering idiota. It will delay and delay and delay. There's a little bit of a delay right now. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I got to share. I had told my son something profound will happen for you in your music in December. Before the year ends, there will be something profound. December came and went. He was kind of in a creative slump. There were a lot of things that were happening with him and his artist friend, and not issues between them, but just the world was kind of going bonkers. And so December came and went and nothing came of it. And then he shared with me yesterday. I'm so proud of him. He just works so hard. He shared with me yesterday that he just was made aware. One of the creative directors for Nike and Givenchy uh, has been playing his music, has featured it. And I'm like, see, it's a little bit delayed. Keep going. Keep going. Keep pushing the envelope for your creativity and creation. Keep going. Don't go based strictly on timelines. Keep going. I mean, how much more evidence do we need? Your abundance is yours. It is yours. And it will wait until you are ready to allow it in. In 2014, my same son, he was hanging out with some really intelligent people, right? He's a teen. He was hanging out with like older, intelligent people. And we had just sold our house. And so we had a lot of liquid funds. And he came to us and he's like, you should buy crypto. And I was just like, no, no. And he's like, you should buy Bitcoin because all my friends are saying you just put $500 in. And, this was, I think it was like still less than a penny. It was worth less than a penny, I want to say. He said, just buy $500 in and you won't ever have to work again. And I was like, no, we don't know what that is. We don't know if that's BS. No, I want hard facts in front of me. I can't just trust something that's not tangible. And as y'all know now, oh Lord, $500 of Bitcoin in 2014. Now, I wasn't ready. I felt like I had to work, that I needed to earn a living wage in the appropriate way, AKA suffer and struggle for every single penny, doing things that don't honor my existence and capability. Many of us are still there in that space. Many of us. We're still right there thinking that in order to have some type of stability, we must suffer and struggle for every single penny. Why? I'm not talking about, creating situations that like theft money from people. No, that's ugly. I'm talking about why don't you allow your abundance to come in the way that it's meant to? Maybe you're not at the job you're supposed to be at. Maybe you're not supposed to be corporate. Maybe you're supposed to be a singer or an artist or something that sets your soul on fire, something that makes you glow with happiness and a sense of accomplishment, even if you're not getting paid. We don't have to struggle in the way we're taught. We really, really don't. It's time for us to begin accepting we deserve more than what we're told we deserve. Because your parents struggled, you should struggle too. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. I used to think that because I don't have a college degree, that, maybe my culture and my relatives are right, that I'm a failure. You know how many times I've been told that I wasted a brilliant mind? That I threw my life away? because I'm not a doctor. You know how many times I've been told that? That I'm just lazy because I didn't want to finish medical school? I'm not meant to be that. Do you know how many people had to disappear out of my life in order for me to very shakily and very fearfully step into the public eye? And no, I wasn't getting paid to do that. I wasn't getting paid to live stream. And it's only within the last few years, I want to say less than a handful of years, less than 5 years, that I've allowed myself to receive appropriate compensation for the gravity of service I provide. That I've been doing all of this work for free for my entire life because I was told it's not something valuable. You can't charge for that. That's not valuable. Or even worse, the spiritual people who tell you you're greedy and all about money if you allow yourself to receive for a service provided because your gift belongs to me. You can't charge for a gift, a spiritual gift, like you can't do that. Okay, but I see doctors charging for a medical gift, lawyers charging for a legal gift. Those are gifted people. To be able to understand the industry you're in to the degree that they understand it, that's a gift. That's not just education. If they weren't gifted in that way, they would have never made it through that education. I know quite a few people who dropped out of medical school, quite a few people who dropped out of the nursing program. They're not medically gifted. That's okay. It's not for them. It's not a failure. It's a redirection. And these people will convince you that you deserve to struggle as penance for what? Because you're gifted? I am so hypersensitive about this subject matter, this needing, wanting, trying to shame you for being designed and created the way God chose. I'm so hypersensitive to this subject matter. So hypersensitive. Because I'm tired of being sorry for being abundant in grace, being abundant in compassion and patience, being abundant in love, abundant in the gifts that God gave me so that I could serve my purpose. I'm tired of it. And so now I'm taking that tiredness and I'm allowing my heart to rest. I'm laying my fears to bed. I'm stepping out into my purpose with no guilt, no shame, no hiding. I am who I am, and who I am is enough. And who I will become will be more than enough. And the I that I was in my history was appropriate for the time that I lived in. This is a different time with a different perception. And so who I am right now might not be anything like I was before. But all these parts of me are valid. All these parts of my cycles of growth, adjustment, shifting, change, they are valid. They are valuable. Even if only for me. Even if only for me. As empaths, part of releasing the toxicity is understanding that even if it's just for you, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do everything in your life for everyone. One of the most profound conversations that I had with Michael, I came to the realization that I had been separating myself from the collective whole, that I continued to try so hard for the collective whole, like while keeping myself separate. And one day he sat me down and he's like, "Who the hell do you think you are?" That shook me up. To speak to me so harshly, that shook me up. That so hurt my feelings. And I was just like, "Oh my God." He was angry. He was angry at me for choosing to live in a way that prevented me from being part of the whole. And the whole is a group of people that I promised to come into this life to love, all of you guys. And to separate myself from the whole, that's the most violent act. That separation, the ripping away, tearing away, cutting away. And that's what you do when you don't allow yourself to receive. That's what you do when you allow yourself to receive only to give it all away. Would you ask would you ask someone else to do that? To give away what's rightfully theirs? Would you be upset if you were full and you saw a starving person not sharing their food? Would that upset you? Would you find it in your heart to go up to that starving person and tell them, "You are so selfish. How dare you not give your food away? How dare you? How dare you not share by giving all of your food away? How dare you think that you are allowed to not feel the pangs of hunger? How dare you?" Would you do that? Alexandra says no. How would you feel if I said you're a liar? Because how many times have you been hungry for support and you refuse to allow yourself to receive it? How many times have you been starving for some type of healthy companionship, to be in an environment where you're finally feeling understood, accepted, embraced, but you wouldn't allow yourself to receive that? How many of you are liars? You might not lie to other people, but how many of you lie to yourself? How many? You can't possibly think you're a good person just because you give to everyone else, but you never give to yourself. Is that being a good person? To me, that's being a martyr. Are you a good person or are you a martyr? And that's what I had to come to terms with. That broke me. That didn't break me down. That broke me open. Like, oh my gosh, I'm an emotional manipulator. I'm manipulating people. But I don't ask for anything. I just want to help. And I was like, "Girl, Mika over here is not yelling at you for no reason. Do you just want to help, or did you find the perfect way to justify your punishment?" And then I was like, "Whoa. Oh my God, this whole time I've been punishing myself. I haven't been giving because I'm a good person. I've been using these people as an excuse, a method with which I could justify my punishment." Dang. Dang. Do you guys do that? Annie says, "I do too. I manipulate because I don't know any other way to voice my needs." Mm, that is such a powerful truth you just wrote. That, I mean, do you understand the level of courage, that it takes To be able to speak such a difficult truth, like such a difficult truth. Do you understand how many people are too afraid to say the truth about what they're experiencing? That doesn't make Annie a bad person. That makes her a powerful goddess in the flesh. To be able to come to that realization and find the courage to share it. Ooh, girlfriend, that's powerful. That's powerful in a way that, oh gosh, I don't know if people even realize, you know? Because when you're able to tell yourself the truth to that degree, you're positioning yourself to correct whatever is misaligned. Don't you want to correct what's misaligned? Don't you want to be comfortable in your own existence? Most of us, it's uncomfortable to be in that space of comfort, in that space of truth and openness. The seeker's journey. You're on a journey to seek something, but do you know what it is? Do you know what it is you're looking for? Do you know what you're seeking in other people? We seek other people for a reason. What are we looking for them to fulfill? For some, they would be like, well, I just want someone for companionship. Okay, that's not a bad thing. Totally understandable. But why aren't you company enough for yourself? And it's not to say you have to live alone. It's not to say you can never be in a relationship or have companionship because that's evidence of some type of weakness. No, not at all. It's not that at all. It's to say, have you sought out the reason as to why you feel like the companionship only needs to come from other people? Right? Now, I have people who are near and dear to me who have been single for a long period. Quite a few. I have quite a few friends who've been single for quite a few years. And some are now kind of at a place where, you know what? They're kind of ready to begin sharing their life with another person. And some are not. Both are valid. Neither are desperate. Now, remember, I cultivate my environment. I choose to only be in active friendships with people who are equally as strong, equally as accountable for their life as I am for mine. I can't do that anymore where I'm going to be your savior. I'm so good off of that. So I will only allow people in my personal private life who are equals to me in that sense of self accountability, auto psychotherapy, where you can assess where your emotions, where they are and how they affect your behaviors. That's powerful. That's powerful. So these are not people who are lacking. These are people who are in different stages of their development. It's not a weakness to want someone to share events with, to witness life unfolding with. That's not evidence of weakness. But wanting someone in your life just for the sake of like, you don't want to be alone. I mean, I don't know that I want to call you weak, but I do feel like maybe it's time to assess what's really going on. Is there emotions and thoughts and fears that you're hiding from yourself? Because you deserve to know yourself to the deepest degree. Okay. To the deepest degree. I cannot learn from an equal. So Leona says, I cannot learn from an equal. Well, you should be learning from yourself. I think that's a projection of your own insecurity, where it's like, I can't do it on my own. So now I need to have people who play specific roles. You know what I mean? And I don't know exactly what you meant by your comment, but that's where my mind goes. The statement of I cannot learn from an equal. So do you need someone who's more than you, who you perceive to be more than you, to pull you up? Climb. You can climb that yourself. Or do you need someone that's less than you to make you feel like you're bigger? That's not good. Every one of you is my equal, and I learn from every single one of you. I will not limit myself by choosing to see people as less than me. People who I don't allow in my life anymore, the types where they cannot take accountability for their own actions, their own life. Sorry, I gotta take off my back brace. Their own actions, their own life. They can't take accountability. They're in a place of disempowerment, disbelief in themselves. They're still an equal of me that, a version of me that I've outgrown, a version of me that I've moved away from. It's still a valid part of me. If it's a part of my history, it's a valid part of me. But I don't want to go back there. So you do your thing and you live your life. And when you're ready to meet me where I'm at, hey, let's meet up. Let's link up. It's all good. It's all good. What did you learn in your absence? Let me share with you what I learned in that absence. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. It's those things that we don't want to consider that are often the very things that cause the struggle. So she says, I like those whom know more than I. I crave knowledge from people. I'm trying to decide, how honest do I need to be? How forthright with honesty and clarity of perception should I be in this moment? And then comes this question of, just because I know more doesn't mean I have to say more, right? Just because I see things clearly does not mean I need to speak on what I see. And when I determine that the one that I would speak to is not interested in hearing, but instead interested in proving, then why do I speak? And I think I have my answer there. Autopsychotherapy. My triggers will not rule my world. The triggers can be allowed to exist, but I must put the weaponry down. Allow people to be their own downfall without absorbing the guilt of how their behaviors affect their life, right? I think I've just reached a new level of abundance of awareness of self. And I think that's what's most important to me. Not that people hear and take in my opinions, because that's all they are, right? Opinions. Take in my opinions as though they are absolutes, as though they are undeniable truths. Maybe for me, in my perception, it's an undeniable truth, but does that mean you're obligated to share my belief that my thoughts are truth? No, not at all. So then things are redirected. What is it in this moment that I need to learn? And I think I just came across that. This realization that just because I know more doesn't mean I should say more. And then life carries on. Seek your destiny. Seek your destiny and not any other thing. What is your destiny? Well, the things you're supposed to experience. Right, Miss Malice. Knowledge comes in all forms: emotional, spiritual, trade, books, street, etc. Knowledge is profound. People can be hoarders of knowledge and never step into a space of wisdom. And y'all can quote me on that. People can absolutely hoard knowledge and never, even for a minute in their entire long life, step into a place of wisdom. And what is wisdom? Knowledge applied. When you apply what you learn, as you guys just saw me do, you step into a space of wisdom. You absolutely step into a space of wisdom. Better to be wise than smart. A queen bee. Allowing yourself to step into that royal chamber, that throne room in your heart. Sitting in that throne room should remind you of the gravity of you. A true royal doesn't have to prove they're royal. They just don't. They know their proper place in their kingdom, and they remain there. Maybe it's time for us to know our proper place within our life. Maybe it's time for us to make sure that we don't kind of, step out of our own lane. Who knows? Who knows? These are all just maybes, questions, things we should ask ourselves so we can begin the process of thinking for ourselves. The live streams that I do were never intended to replace your own thoughts. They were always intended to create such a sacred space where you can begin questioning and thinking freely as a sovereign. Not trying to convince anyone of anything. Perfectly okay to disagree. It's perfectly okay and healthy to disagree in a healthy manner, a respectful manner, where we are mutually respectful. That's a beautiful thing to experience. Make the sacrifice. Maybe you need to eat your old self at this point. If you are so starved, consume your old self. Allow yourself to recognize the ways in which the old you, the you from 5 minutes ago, is not worthy of the you that you're becoming right now. The me that I was last week is a different me than I am today. The me that I was last week is just as valid, just as important, but that's not who I am today. It's probably not who I'm going to be tomorrow either. Forever changing, always shifting in growth. Love it. See yourself in nature. What's your natural environment? Where do you actually belong? Excuse me. Where do you actually belong? Is it where you are right now? Do you feel at home there? Do you feel at home where you are? With the people who you love? Or are you simply there because that's all you know? It's just kind of one of those things. If it's all we know, how do we know where else we can be? California for such a long time, pretty much my whole life, was all I knew. It was all I knew. So it felt like it was all there is. People who live in California, they know. Once you're in California, California's not letting you go. It's just not. You're going to be stuck there. You're going to stay there, and it's going to take a whole lot of trauma-induced accreting to get you out of California. Caliphus. It's just this place. Caliphus. And then when I exited, I began to understand California was never a home. Just isn't. It took me traveling, I think 2 or 3 years, nonstop. Nonstop. It took me traveling nonstop through so many states. And then I realized I don't belong there. I just don't. I don't belong there at all. And if I don't belong there, where do I actually belong? Where do I need to go? Who am I becoming? Who am I? I don't know. I don't know who I was. I lost who I was for quite a few years. I lost who I was, and I don't know that I cared to find that. I don't know that I cared to find the part of me that I lost. Because that was such a toxic part of me. Not toxic in that I was hurting other people. Toxic in that I was volunteering to hurt myself. I don't ever want to return to that space. I don't ever want to go back to a space where I matter less than anyone else. It's important for me to be able to love myself at the depth that I love complete strangers. I realized home is inside. It's not a location. It's a state of mind, a frame of being. Home can be inside another person. It can be inside yourself. Home is where you feel the most you. So when that someone else, I mean, it's someone else. If it's you, then it's you. Just know when you make someone else home, it's a painful thing when one day they leave. It's like your home just got up and walked away. A part of me still exists in a way where I need safety, right? The world still feels very unsafe to me. I'm a very fragile person, not easily broken per se, but easily cracked. And so I feel the need to protect myself from spaces that feel unsafe, from unnecessary hurt. And that's when I realized the most powerful thing I could do for myself is make home inside me and just invite people over. Invite people to come visit me at home. So, no, my husband is not my home. He lives with me in my home, though. He has a space in my internal home that no one else could occupy. Not even visitors. No, that's just for him. That's a space created just for him and can only be occupied by him. And no, he's not my home. One day my children will be grown and have their own lives. They're not my home either, but they too have their space in my home, their own sacred space in my home that they will always be welcome in, and no one will ever take their place. But home is within me. That's how it has to be. If me being hurt causes me to shut down, then I have to learn in a way that's not so hurtful. That's the most powerful show of self-love, is it not? And when you feel less and less hurt by simply existing, you feel more and more safe to share yourself, to not just allow select visitors to enter the house and then you deadbolt it shut. No, you'll find yourself beginning to garden outside your home and maybe even starting to wave at neighbors, starting to let people see just how beautiful your existence is. It's been this entire process for me to get comfortable enough to be able to share of myself. This is all fairly freaking new, you guys. It's only been a few years. It has only been a few years. It has not been a very long time. There's still so much of me that has not been shared. There is an abundance of life experience and perception, elevations of understanding that I have not even tapped into when it comes to sharing with you guys. In time, that beautiful flower cannot be rushed. It will bloom in time. And when it does, you'll witness something very beautiful happen. And whatever that is, however that plays out, I welcome it. I welcome it. I'm very excited, yet patiently awaiting the day where I find my blossoms are in full bloom and the air I breathe is full of my own sweetness. It's one thing to be able to smell the flowers and appreciate their beauty. It's another thing to understand you too are a flower, worthy of equal appreciation. It's that self-love journey. It's time for us to grow together. It's time for us to grow in ways that make us feel safer in each other's presence. And as we feel safer in each other's presence, the abundance of camaraderie, the abundance of this collective love, collective support, unified diversity. Oh my God, the beauty and the blessings of all that. If we could come together in that way where it's no longer compete and compare, but instead co-create. Oh, shooka now. It's going to be very hard to control that. Because you know the way they control us, right? They being this proverbial, whatever, yada, yada. They separate us in whatever way they can, whether it be separate us from our gender, separate us using our ethnicity, um, the melanin production based off of our ancestral region origins. Yeah. Like even within one culture, we're separated. My culture itself, like there's colorism in my culture. Hmm. Yeah. The more Eurocentric your features, the lighter your skin, the more Anglo your nose, the more valuable you are. If you are, brownish. Even my tone right now is a little too dark for my culture, right? And as younger, I had people tell me, "Oh, you'd be so pretty if you were just light like your mom." I'm sorry, I'm not day glow. My mama was day glow, just Anglo AF. I don't have her Anglo nose, this delicate ski slope of a nose. I don't have that. I don't have her coloring either. So, it's kind of crazy to me. And yet, I have so many memories of people who are Anglo just absolutely swooning over my color. You have the most beautiful golden tone. Yellow? You mean yellow? Burnt yellow? Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Mhm. I've had so many people tell me, "Oh, you have the most cute button nose." Oh, really? We only appreciate the things we don't have. That's sad. That's sad. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like I have, issues with my self-confidence and my appearance. I mean, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm vodka, first off, okay? Ooh, Annie said vodka with chili and sugar. Girl, that sounds so good though. Yeah, and then secondly, I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against you that you don't have good taste. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. That was a joke. Yeah, no, I've had people tell me directly to my face that they didn't think I was too pretty. And I was just like, "I won't hold it against you that you don't have good taste. It's okay." I like to mess with people like that. Like, "What? You don't Oh. Oh, you're not into Asians? Mm, it's okay. Some of us have to be basic." I'm joking. I don't really believe that. But I like to talk shit to people who are so full of shit. That's just kind of how I am. Girl, Ayana says, "I'm super dark in complexion. I'm learning to love my skin." Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. When my husband sits in the sun and does like whatever outdoor stuff, he gets this nice brown. It's just nice and brown. It's like the color of turon. We just stop when we stop. I'm gonna stop. Y'all probably don't know what turon is. Let me stop. I get myself into some trouble. Don't nobody speak on what turon is. Let me behave myself. I gotta be neutral. I gotta be neutral. Okay. Neutrality is sexy. Rainbow Flames be knowing you clearly have Filipino friends. She be knowing. Let me just keep going. Knowledge is power. Allowing yourself to step into a place of knowing where you are in your life, um knowing how other people affect your growth. It's beautiful. It's powerful. Shameless sensuality. Shameless sensuality. Ooh. Just really allowing yourself to ooze that creation type energy. Yes, Moonrock, what Moonrock said in the comments. Ooh. So you come from a legacy of light. It's time for you to rise up in your awareness of yourself, your journey, all of that. It's time. What you want wants you. Oh, I suddenly feel some sort of way. Mm. Oh, Lord. There's some sort of energy. Are one of you ovulating? I'm just feeling something. One of you has to be ovulating, and I'm picking up on it. What you want wants you. Um, that was an odd thing for me to say. I'm sorry. Let me retract that. I'm so sorry. It's me. I'm the one ovulating. Just stop. Stop. Okay. Card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. So, see, I started this by saying my husband is Toron. I, I, why do I have to say things like that? And now, sorry, guys. Okay, beyond the mind, the heart beats. What you want wants you. The word wants to be written. So there's something that is like kind of rising up into a fever pitch, right? It is something that ties into this shameless sensuality. Someone is viewing you as extremely sensual, extremely sensual. Like everything you do is just like, oh. I mean, I don't know. I should stop. Card number 39, free from judgment, free to love. Free from judgment, free to love, right, Annie? We've passed that a long time ago. What's appropriate or not? I know. God, I don't know why I'm like this. I do know, but no. Card number 39, free from judgment, free to love. Allowing yourself to step into a much healthier space of self-love, of loving people in your environment, all of that. Card number 12, every journey starts with a single step. So you're on a journey. This is confirmation. You're on a journey. You have to travel through your life. You have to allow yourself to be exactly what you need to be. Okay. Allow yourself to get to a place within your journey where you feel comfortable with how far you've come. Card number 30. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. I just got to sing out my Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Card number 35, conscious connections. Someone's trying to consciously connect with you. Someone's trying to consciously connect with you, and this is how they feel about it. They don't know what to say. Softly, softly, the tender touch. They don't know what to say, and there's this huge part of them that's just hoping you pick up on whatever this telepathic type communication is, and that you would reach out and break the ice. I'm sorry, but we're Elsa. We are the ice. No, I'm joking. Um, all seriousness, this is someone who is just torn up. They are so torn up. So torn up. They just watch and watch and watch. They watch you. They cuz see this is them right here. This one is them. Don't mind this one. This one is them, right? That right there. That's them. And they just watch and watch and watch. They don't know what to say. It's almost like they're trying so hard to project this message of please break the ice. Card number 29, seeing the true you. They are hoping you see the truth of who they are. I don't even think they know who they are. So how are you going to see that? How are they going to expect from you something they can't even provide for themselves? They have to see the gravity of who they are in your life so that they can begin acting like they have gravity. Maybe if they start acting like they have gravity, they'll stop orbiting you because of your gravity. And you can just both return to being celestial bodies. I'm just saying. Card number 38, restore and replenish. So it's almost this sense of this is how they feel. This is how they feel because of your absence. And I don't like emotional manipulation, so I'm going to point something out. See all those shells? Those are all like telephones to the soul. This mofo is not picking up messages. They're not listening to the messages their soul has been communicating to them. They are surrounded by leaves, leaves being indication of growth. How do you know a plant is growing? Well, it grows new leaves. Durr, right? And then here's the thing. The key is in holding it together. What do buttons do? They hold things together. So instead of holding things together, listening to the messages and allowing themselves to recognize the levels of growth they've accomplished, they're laying there like a big baby. Sorry that I don't sound very nice right now. Why do I need to be nice? They're already so busy being a big ass baby. So that I have Capricorn for my Venus. Jesus Christ. I'm serious though. When you're so good at feeling sorry for yourself and throwing this lavish pity party for yourself, I don't need to add to that. I don't need to add to that. I'm going to be the one that loves you in a way that's like, mofo, you blew your budget. What the hell? You can't afford those clowns coming out that clown car. Mm-hmm. You can't afford that Cirque du Soleil where, they're all acrobatic contortionists. Like, why are you contorting yourself into positions that, like, no, I'm good off that. You want to cry? You can cry. But I'm not going to be like crying with you when I don't see a reason for the tears. That's not to say I've never cried with people. That's not to say I've never cried when you're bullshitting yourself. Motherfucker, I'm not going to cry with you. Are you kidding me? Stop your bullshit. You deserve more than what you're allowing yourself to receive. And yeah, I sound like I'm pissed because I am. I'm pissed when people choose their suffering. And that's evidence of me being a good person, that I can love you in a way that I can see what you deserve, even when you choose to believe you deserve nothing. Fuck out of here with your shit. Don't tell me you don't deserve anything. I'm not going to co-sign that. Are you kidding me? I'm not co-signing none of that shit. Feel sorry for yourself on your own terms. That's not what this live stream is for. Marlene's like, I said what I said, woman. I said what I said. I will not coddle people's insecurities. I won't hold it against you, but I'm not going to coddle that. I am not going to be like, oh, poor you. No, I don't believe that. Mm-mm. See, when you are connected to someone who has deep insecurities and you allow yourself to enter into that space with them where you're like, oh my God, poor you, you are feeding the insecurity. No. My kids are playing video games and they're getting really, really upset, right? They're getting real riled up. I'd be like, whoa, you all right? I'm so mad at this guy. Like, okay, well, it's supposed to be fun. How about you take a break? You need a hug? You need something? How about you take a break? If you're not having fun anymore, you should probably take a break because there's no point in stressing yourself out over something that's supposed to be fun. You can ask my kids, what would your mom say if they'll tell you straight up everything I tell you guys? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just the other day, one of my kids was playing video games and he's like, this guy sucks. Whoa, dude. Whoa. What's going on? He just sucks so bad. I was like, okay, Maybe it's time to take a break, because really, if it's taking you there to a place where you're like feeling that way, pretty sure it's time for a break. How about you finish up that match and take a break? Like, no more. No more. Self-regulation, encouraging awareness of self, and encouraging self-regulation. It is not uncommon for some of my littlest ones to be like, "Oh, I can't play my video game. I'm so frustrated." Like, I know. I get competitive when I play video games. That's why I don't play them. I totally get it. I'm glad you're recognizing that it's time for a break. Like, no way in hell I'm gonna be like, "Oh, my poor baby, they're so mean to you." Like, no. No. No, no. No. If I see you crying and you need a hug, I will give you a hug. I will ask you if you need a hug. If I see you in a pity party, I'm gonna be like, "I'm out. I'm out." That's a party for one. I don't need to be, like, part of that at all. And some people will totally see it as I'm cold. I promise you, I'm one of the most loving people you will ever come across. When I count you as one of my friends, like, I am so fucking there for you. You don't even have to ask me. As busy as my schedule is, if I see no, hey, I gotta reschedule a few things. Aren't you busy? No. Nope. What's going on? You okay? Everything okay? You've been in my thoughts. Is everything okay? So, no, I'm not going to feel bad for having some type of standard for other people. I'm not going to feel ashamed for loving you in a way that empowers you, not further fuels the pity party. No, no. We got to exit from those types of connections. I'm not saying cut people out. I'm saying exit from that dynamic. You want to be a real friend? You want to really show someone you love them? Give them a reason to exit out of the pity party. That's my logic. Give them a reason to exit out of that pity party. Let them see you waiting outside for them. Like, be right out here, okay? Some fucked up shit happening in here. I'm just gonna wait outside. I'll wait outside. We can talk about it outside, but I can't come in here with you. That's love. The other type, the other definition of love where you're gonna no, that's enablement. I'm the friend who won't enter into the pity party, but I'll sit with you at the bottom of that muddy pit and just listen to you breathe, so you're not alone as you process what you need to process. I'm not averse to being in the depths of someone's intense energy, intense emotions. I'm averse to a pity party. Those are two different things. Those are two different things. A pity party is not something that really is seeking to process anything. It just keeps you locked in these cycles of poor me. Everyone got a sub story. And people will say that's so rude to say. It's the truth. Things have happened to everyone in this world. That doesn't minimize what's happening to you. It's a reminder. A reminder. You're not alone in your struggle. You are not alone in the way you've hurt and been disappointed. You're not alone in that. So stop trying to convince yourself that you are personally being punished by your life. If you were, I would agree. That's very rare. Very, very rare. All right. Now that I've scolded everybody. Sorry. Card number 48, Yod, Destiny. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. Ooh. Okay. So this card indicates that matters are fated. It's part of your fate, your destiny, and often difficult, but not without their rewards. This configuration is influential and implies that there is a disruptive force at work. So something's been interfering, causing them to kind of be like this. But here's the thing, I really can't have pity for them when they continue to exist in an environment that continues to allow this disruptive force to have access. I just can't. I can't. Like, I can't, you know? Um, in a sense, this astrological placement of planets is somewhat in exile from the other planetary energies because they are not harmonious with each other and therefore cause tension. So I'm wondering if this person is the Yod. They've been exiled or they exiled themselves. So if they've physically exiled themselves, is this like an emotional accessing? Are they being emotionally accessed by that disruptive force? Y'all, I cannot say that I have been emotionally disrupted by an ex my entire history. Why? Because once you're an ex, you're an ex. We're not going to be friends, baby boo. You're an ex, you're an ex. We're not going to be friends. We're not going to stay in touch. We're just not. We're not. It has to be a clean cut, surgical precision, clean cut out. That's it. Now, I'm not so quick to cut you out. There has to be a reason that I've been mulling over for quite some time before I actually surgically remove you. I think a lot of this has to do with continuing to allow people to have access to you. People that you've already identified as toxic to you. I don't know. I mean, unless you guys have children together, which you have to be in each other's lives. I mean, I don't know. This feels like someone has been manipulating. Someone has been extremely emotionally manipulative. This is someone who tries to make you feel badly for having some type of standards. No, this is all bad. This can bring about feelings of intense stress and restriction. There can also be a sense of being different, feeling alone, and of being out of step with others. A yod in a natal chart can even indicate being the black sheep, being the black sheep of the family. When the yod card presents itself in a reading, it means that the situation may be chaotic or may soon turn that way. It will be hard to see any clear path because of this chaos, but it will be important to weather through it all. This is not always bad because it's a process of finding what works and what isn't functioning. So that's how you have to see it. Now, when you add in this Black Moon Lilith, that's how you know this is straight up like oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, wash the demon whores away. This is legit demon whore stuff. DeWita in the flesh. What's up? I'm telling you, this is that's probably why I wasn't feeling any pity earlier. Like, you all right, you want to be around a demon horita? You gonna be treated like demon horita food. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, when Jesus washed, washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. It's not gonna be a happy day, yo. Black Moon Lilith. In revenge and in love, woman is more barbaric than man is. I'm just saying. It's time to be careful. Think of what might manifest over anger, bitterness, or revenge. What you have worked so hard for may collapse. That growth, that's about to go bye bye. That's about to go bye bye. Okay. As a shift in power and consciousness, Black Moon Lilith symbolizes destruction before creation. That destruction before creating. Okay. Lilith is a feminine force of command and strength. She represents the powers we hold in secret. When this card turns up during a reading, something lurks. Lilith appears as a dark part of the astrological chart. She is our shadow, the dark face of the moon where mysteries and unexplained occurrences lie in wait. I had a dream about the moon once. How I was taken to the moon. It wasn't a celestial body. It was artificial and constructed in the dream. The dark side had a lot of not so good things that happen in the dark side. This Lilith energy is the dark face of the moon, where unexplained occurrences lie in wait. Oh no. I don't know. This card indicates a call to wildness, even subversion. Lilith is the evocation of what may or may not be there. She can manifest as madness or self realization, and maybe the self realization occurs after exposure to the madness of another. Lilith represents a refusal to submit. So it's not a good time to give in, even when the path seems a rough one. Does someone need protection? Seriously? Does someone need protection from Lilith energy? I got a big ass size 9 foot. That's just begging to be shoved up her ass. Let me stop. I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry. I have wept for love of them. They turn away. I will break their hearts of stone. Give them hearts for love alone. Who will share my light with them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. I got boots on. I'm just saying, your girl got boots, big ass boots. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Tag me in, Lord. Tag me the fuck in, Lord. My hand is outstretched, Lord. Tag me in, Lord. I wish a motherfucker would. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I better stop before I hurt myself. Anyways, okay. Lilith is a subdued power and complicated magnetism. Magnetism is indicative of a lesser frequency. It causes denseness when you become magnetic. That's the end result of a higher vibration, lower oscillation, causing your frequency to drop, causing you to become more magnetic and dense. It's a dense ass motherfucking bitch. I'm just saying. I don't know why I'm so riled up. I don't have a Lilith in my life. I'm just saying. Ooh, Teresa. Lilith exits Gemini on April 14th, goes into Cancer. Lilith Cancer energy be. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Why do I gotta stop? Because I have to respect people's sovereignty. That has to be respected. It just has to be respected. Card number 32, 8th house, endings, beginnings. From my rotting body, flowers shall grow, and I am in them, and that is eternity. This is where it all goes dark and becomes mysterious. So shit's about to pop off. You're not going to see it coming. For whoever this is, you're not going to see it coming, but whatever this is, it takes you exactly to where you need to be. It hand delivers you into your destiny. It's going to hand deliver you directly into your destiny. The 8th house represents the long, dark night before light comes, where a new dawn is on its way, but you need to grapple with the darkness and the unknown a while longer. Traditionally, the 8th house is about sex, death, psychic powers, control, and material things such as money and inheritance. But such things you will end up owning, or at least partly. It also represents a time of year when Halloween or Samhain takes place and involves all dark, gothic things associated with it. When this card turns up in a reading, the meaning is clear. You're in a period of great transformation. Your matter in question may seem like a life or death issue. This is not a time of superficialities. You may be evaluating your life's choices, and the need for change is great. Something that has been in your life for a long time crumbles like a tower. It must be built back up in a different way with different pieces and different hands to help. You will not be able to forge ahead without taking care of this matter. A certain change must be completed before you can move ahead. This adjustment may feel uncomfortable or will not be an easy one. So I'm wondering if for you guys, if you're waiting for someone to come back to you, right? First off, I don't think you should wait. I think you should live your life. Secondly, and that's just my opinion. Secondly, maybe they're not coming back as quickly as you would like because they're dealing with this demon whore. You know, they're dealing with a demon horita, and they don't want to have that bleed over into whatever they're going to approach you with. This is unlikely. Okay, so this card does not mean, you know, someone is going to die. This is unlikely, but it does mean you may end up dealing with things being passed on to you. inheritance issues, deeds, trust, insurance policies, goods of the dead, alimony, child support, even taxes. This card also indicates what a partner owns, his or her resources and finances, but can also concern something passed down from parents and grandparents. These are assets acquired. Okay. Jealousy, rival, sabotage, and stalking are also issues of the 8th house. However, there are more positive meanings of this house of sex and death. You may experience penetrating insights, or you may go through a time of renewal, a time where you're given a second chance. So they're banking on a second chance. Your life is made over and you become a builder. Darkness comes and a tower falls, but there's a better one to replace it. Mhm. Mhm. Don't settle. Don't settle for toxic corridas. Don't do that. Don't do that. Card number 2, moon, soul. Things must come to the soul from its roots, where it's planted. Things are definitely going to come from your roots where you're planted. It's going to be something that's going to help you. Really, really help you. Help you what? What does your gut say? That's what the book says. This card is all about mystery, feeling, and hidden messages. So 3 of the 4 cards that were pulled. Three of the 4 cards that were pulled have to do with mystery. Okay. They have to do with mystery. So the moon is receptive. It governs intuition and self-protection. Its placement by sign and house indicate those areas to which we are the most emotional or sensitive. The moon represents what is felt instinctively and what is at the core of our emotions. Oh my God. The moon is our soul. Yesterday's reading was about how this individual views you as their moon. You're an external projection of their most intimate spaces, the aspects of them they don't allow other people to witness. The moon represents security, the home we grew up in, the need to hide away and recoup our energies. My goodness. It's a female principle that is darkly moist and yielding, so the moon can signify a relationship with our mothers, as well as pregnancy. It also signifies our grandmothers and even old age, so geriatric issues can arise when this card turns up. Crowds belong to the moon, but also shyness and things that occur in darkness. I wonder if they see you as some conundrum, this intimate thing that's enjoyed by the masses and enjoyed in a way where you remain very, very far removed, barely accessible, something that makes it very clear that there's just something so profound for this individual. You are just so profound for this individual. I hear a specific term. You are their pleroma. You are their pleroma. Let me define pleroma for you. The spiritual universe as the abode of God and the totality of divine powers and emanations. the totality or fullness of the Godhead which dwells in Christ. Plenitude, the fullness of divine excellencies and powers. You are the totality. It's just a lot. Pleroma, according to Gnostic doctrine, is from a state of fullness to one of deficiency. That is to say, for man, from a state of self-knowledge to one of ignorance, from consciousness to his divine origin, and nature to unconsciousness. It's almost like it's almost like an awareness of you causes an awareness of their deficiency or perception of a deficiency. You know? Rather than seeing you as an equal, they use the knowledge of your existence as justification for their own insecurities. And I don't know how you would address that. I don't know how you would find okay. The lunar influence can be indicative of future fame governing the masses, what is likely to be popular. At this time, you may have trouble controlling your emotions and may want to do things that are safe. You are very sensitive and you must gauge any feelings before entering a room or being with people you don't know. You like working alone, but you are also dependent on how others are responding to you now. The arts and helping professions suit you. You would do well working with persons with mental or emotional problems or anyone who needs counseling. It's a good time to rely upon your imagination and to pay attention to your dreams. When this card turns up in a reading, all is not as it seems because something is being obscured. You may feel you've lost your direction or that you don't have all of the information to go forward. There's much you're sensing, but you may be hesitant to act. Difficulty cutting through the fog to get to the real truth of any situation. Substance abuse issues may touch your life, not you necessarily, but certain energies or persons surrounding you. After growing close to someone, the energy may feel smothering and restrictive. Insecurities may arise, and there may be feelings of paranoia. We love our moon, though. She makes us feel safe. So someone's emotional clinginess may also be an issue. The moon tells us to hang on, oftentimes after we should have released things from our lives or just given up. No, the moon chimes in. Hang in there. You will win sooner or later. Deception is possible with this card, and things are cloudy. Someone from your past is about to re-enter your life. Any romance that starts now may be strange, yet compelling and even familiar. An important meeting for you may occur in the evening hours. Pay close attention to the energies that swirl around. It's a good time to rely upon your gut. Okay? Your gut. You have to allow yourself to process life as it is. Now, seeing, reading all of that, this makes so much more sense. So now, what I originally perceived as a pity party, maybe it's simply an elevation in awareness, not so much pity, more like awareness of the gravity of your failure to listen to your gut. That's intense. It's very, very intense. And when people need support for something like that, that's a whole nother ballgame. Okay. It's not the same as a pity party. All right. So you guys basically just witnessed, you don't always know what's going on. And it's best to just hold off your judgment of how you are to be involved until you're actually aware of what's going on. Right. And it's important for you guys to see these things simply because we can't get caught up in this BS program of like, oh, well, I'm going to ignore the truth because I already said something that contradicts the truth as I'm now understanding it to be. And I don't want to look stupid. So let me just keep going with that falsity. No, never be ashamed or afraid to acknowledge out loud or silently in yourself when you've misunderstood something. I misunderstood that. I'm not ashamed. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I misunderstood that. I didn't have all the facts. I didn't have enough information to properly assess. And now that I do, my perception is changing. This is an extremely manipulative individual. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm gonna go eat some bread. I'm gonna eat my feelings. I'm not even joking. Let's see what the Nag Hammadi. Okay, let's get something from the front. Ooh. All right. Okay. So this is the tripartite tractate. The matter which flows through its form is caused by which the invisibility which exists through the powers belongs to them all. To be getting before them and destroying the thought which is set between those of the right and those of the left is a power of something. All those which we have will wish to make them, so to speak, a projection of theirs, like a shadow cast from them and following a body. Those who are the roots of the invisible creations, namely the entire preparation of the adornment of the images and representations and likenesses, have come into being precisely because of those who need education and teaching and formation, so that the smallness might grow little by little, as through a mirror image. Therefore, at the very end, did he create man, having first prepared and provided for him the things which he had created for his sake. Like that of all else in the creation of man, the spiritual Logos also moved him invisibly, as he perfected him through the demiurge and his angelic servants, who shared in the act of fashioning in multitudes. He took counsel with his archons, being like a shadow of an earthly man, so that he might be like those who are cut off from the totalities. Also, he is something prepared by all of them, those of the right and those of the left, since each one in the orders gives a form to the to be in which it exists. So everything, the big and the small, everything that's happening in your life at this point is creating um it's part of the act of creation, the terraforming of the landscape of your mind as you are being shaped and formed by the hand of creation itself. Every situation, whether good or bad, is adding, lending more to your deepening, ripening understanding of yourself and your soul. As someone who specializes in demonic exorcism, That's the archaic term you would use for parasitic extraction, right? What's a parasitic extractor? Well, I do demonic exorcisms. That's my day job. I once had someone ask me, if I was that powerful, why didn't I just destroy all the demons? Well, first, I'm not God. First and foremost, I carry within my sacred temple a spark of God, a spark that was fragmented of a fraction of the consciousness of God. But I am not God itself, first and foremost. Secondly, anything that exists is sanctioned by God. I mean, why would God allow demons to exist? Well, if you believe in God, why would you believe that demons have the authority to usurp the power and omnipotence, omnipresence of God? So then why would demons exist? Well, I don't know. Why would you choose not to learn in the light? So, of course, in its efficiency, what you choose to not learn in the classroom of light, it will be taught through tutors of darkness. Every ascension cycle I have been in has required the assistance of shadow and darkness through the attempts to harm me, through the attempts to derail my growth, the attempts to pull me back. It gave me something to push against. And in that pushing, I was given the opportunity to birth myself. The ugly people in your life, the demonic ones, they serve a purpose. Let them serve their purpose. Let them help you to learn. Whether it's through adversity, criticism, whatever it is, let them help you to learn the intricacies of your complex simplicity. Life is a complex simplicity, simply complex. If we learn, we grow. When we grow, new lessons are loaded. Are you tired of the cycle? Then learn what you're supposed to learn through it. And then move forward. Life is so ridiculously beautiful. Life has a way of really bringing us face to face with everything we need to look at. Oh my God. Take a good long look. Take a good long look and savor every pore. Every pore on the face of what you're supposed to see. Take a good long look and allow yourself to finally begin processing what you need to know. Life is beautiful. It always has been. And I think at this point, you're going to begin to see it becoming more and more and more obvious. Okay. I'm asking a specific question and 2 cards fell out. Card number 36. The dance unveiling. There's a situation in your life that's about to reveal itself to you with greater clarity. Just like sand shifting, the picture will seem clearer and quite different to how it once appeared to you. This clarity will bring you great relief and confirmation of your intuition. Be patient and allow the revelation to come to you at the perfect time. Often we think we know. Oh, often what we think we know is only a small part of the bigger picture. With more information, what we think is a truth can shift, sometimes dramatically, which is what you guys saw, and reveal a completely different reality. Sometimes we really imagine a situation, person, or place to be all that we think or feel that it is, only to find that it's not quite that way at all after some time and involvement has passed. There is an important situation in your life right now that is still unfolding, and you have yet to perceive it fully. It is safe for you to be patient and curious and trust what you feel is unfolding now. Don't rush to set things in motion, to form a structure, or even to make things concrete until you have had a chance to be clearer about this situation or process. There will be a time in the near future when you will realize that the graceful cosmic dance of Kuan Yin has unfolded and the veil has been lifted. At that time, you will realize that you are seeing much more clearly and accurately than you have previously been able to do. Only then will an appropriate course of action or non action will be clear to you. Trying to apply effort to create results before that time will not cause the unveiling dance to unfold more quickly. Be patient and trust. This dance of divine grace will touch this part of your life and bring you clarity. Go into your heart and listen for the music of her dance. This oracle is also confirmation that something you have recently perceived will soon be perceived is accurate. Ooh, the goosebumps. Plan ahead for your future trip. Plan ahead for your future trip. You're going to be moving out of the space you're existing in right now. This perception may have been something of a shock, a surprise, or a stretch for you, and perhaps you're not quite comfortable with its implications as yet. And so you're doubting the veracity of your vision. Be patient and allow yourself to get used to the new truths that are revealing themselves to you now. The dance of Kuan Yin's grace brings not only revelation, but also opportunity and resolution. Things are about to be resolved. Whatever those things are, they're about to be resolved. Final card. Card number 40. I remember sitting in my bath just like that. Card number 40, the Yin Empress. The Yin Empress brings peace, prosperity, and success to her beloved devotees. Your sole purpose includes healing and empowerment of the divine feminine, the Yin Empress herself. You gain power, assistance, and untold blessings in following your sole purpose. You are lifted and supported in your sacred work now. You are a spiritual leader and pioneer, and part of what you are here to do for the planet on a soul level, whether you are a man or a woman, is to empower the divine feminine, the cosmic empress of yin or divine feminine energy, so that we might live in more balance as a species on the earth. The divine feminine is only now making her resurgence on this planet, and many do not understand her. Your sacred task, for which you will be richly supported, nourished, and rewarded, is to help live her truths now. In doing so, you're planting seeds of awareness and experience for others to draw from when they too are ready to live into her sacred truths. This will explain why at times you feel you do not fit into current culture. You're not meant to, because you're meant to help it grow and change in the same way that beloved Kuan Yin had a rebellious and compassionate streak and did not fit into the world in the way that it was because she was born to help it heal and ascend. So too does your soul yearn to make a real difference in this world. to help it be free of fear that leads to competition and domination and power struggles, and instead to live from a place of love and a place of peace. The gifts of the Yin Empress are experienced through your feminine power, which is accessed through living your heart truths, your genuine values, and your fierce gentleness. Femininity is not weak, nor is it aggressive. It is fierce compassion that refuses to descend into judgment, and if it does, rises again to compassion over and over and over again. Men and women in touch with their feminine power are able to love, to have compassion, to be truthful, and to honor what really matters to them. Whether it fits with contemporary cultural values or not, they realize that they are helping to create a new culture with wiser values. Living in this way not only feels better and more truthful, it also leads to a successful life with much creativity, positive contribution, personal empowerment, and satisfying relationships. Not to mention inspiration for others to draw from so that they too may grow. You're being asked to live into your feminine power now, to be true to who you are, and not give in to social conditioning that tells you feminine power is not enough, that you must compromise your values, your beliefs, or your compassion to get ahead or come out on top. You don't have to live that way. You're being empowered to live from your heart and realize that this is not only enough, that to do so is a blessing for all. The Yin Empress thanks you for your loving devotion and service to her and shines blessings upon you now. Mm. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to experience something that you have never in your life experienced? A type of growth and change that I'm sorry. Adaptive fit. Adapt. Let's transform. Intuition, nothing should stop learning. Start your day the right way. Something seriously profound is her like at the threshold. Like at the threshold of something so important. Money moves for couples. Signs of progress. Complete. Can you do that? For me, it's a moment that's defined by her. Today is a day she sees who she can be. I don't know why it's hard for me. Greatness is possible because my moment is her inspiration. I don't know why it's so hard for me to accept. There are things that are happening that just don't involve words. They are things that can be witnessed by others, but are things that you can't quite say out loud. All right. I got to stop. I find myself looking and looking and looking for things that will confirm but also deny. Something is happening right now. It's something that requires courage and bravery. It's something that requires a level of courage and bravery that maybe we don't realize we already have. What do you guys feel? I feel myself trying not to cry. What do you guys feel? What do you sense? What do you think is happening right now? I feel myself surging enough frequency to push through a manifestation that could change the trajectory right here today, right now. And I find myself at the cusp of releasing that into being. And as I'm about to release it, I feel like I'm holding myself back. Something is definitely massively shifting. I know my integrity and my intent. I intimately know my innermost self. What's the reason to stop it? There are none. So, Michael says I have to ask for it. And that I can't ask until I release the fear of how this changes my life. So let's take a moment. Let's take a moment. If you guys would be so generous as to assist me in this recalibrating an old fear that's just popped up. Okay. So I'm going to play some meditation music for us. And you're going to see me just quietly sit here. And it's my hope that as I quietly sit here, that I'll be able to I went to unlock my phone and this comes up. Oh, it disappeared. It said something along the lines of, in the light of your realization, a weightless feather of a thought changes your reality with no effort. So let me I'm going to play you guys some music, and I'm going to play myself different music. And as we sit here together in this space, I want you to simply just think of your most amazing memory, like the best moment of your entire life, and that feeling, the memory of that emotion, and just focus on that. Just breathe very deep and very slow. How do you guys feel? saw like the most beautiful thing. It's just the most beautiful thing. It started with a sense of fear and apprehension. Like, how could I ever fill those shoes? And I looked down and I was barefoot. And then I noticed the sun was rising. It was very bright, very, very bright. And I thought again, how could I ever fill those shoes? And when I looked down again to look at my bare feet, I realized they weren't bare. I wasn't barefoot. I was standing in slippers made of glass, made just for me. And the way the sun shined on my glass slippers, and for a moment I thought, I can't walk in these because they might shatter. And then came the bridegroom. Sprinkling on the floor before me cherry blossoms. And this knowing that my feet were never intended to touch the ground. That no matter where I travel in life, creation will always lay before me a blanket of blossoms. And that there's really nothing to be afraid of. When you're made for a purpose, the tools you need to fulfill that purpose will be made right along with you. They're not made as you need them, where you have to wait for them to be made after you realize a need for them. No, they're made right along with you. Creation has this beautiful way of knowing every event, every potentiality of a potentiality of a potentiality of a contingency of a contingency of a contingency. And so it creates all these tools that simply just sit and wait. It just sits and waits for you to have a need. You never wait. You just give yourself the perception of having to wait. And in reality, you're not waiting. You're going through the process of giving yourself permission to return back to you the very thing that was always yours to begin with. Mm. I'm asking for it back. I want it back. Michael says to put it in my terms. Give me my Chronos. Give me back my Chronos. Do you feel that? Do you guys feel that? It's this sense of a royal kitchen is now preparing a banquet. Do you guys feel it? What was always mine is coming back home to me. And this time I won't stop it. This time I'm not afraid. I don't know how it plays out. I don't know how this period plays out, but I know what happens after it. I know what happens after it. One by one, the pieces come together. The pieces are already prepared. They were placed on a dish, waiting for my hands to pick them up. Michael says, say it again. Give me back my Chronos. All of it. Not just a portion. Every last one. And he's smiling. He says, that's how I remember your authority back then. To have authority even when you whisper. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. It means a lot. It means a lot. You guys give me the courage to be who I am. And who I am is still blossoming. It's still blossoming. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta do some destiny stuff. I hope whoever needed the information in this reading was able to get whatever information they needed. I hope everyone finds their point of center and their place of peace. And I really, really hope I was going to say, I hope I live up to whatever expectations you have of me And Michael says, no, that's not something to hope for. So I'll reframe that thought. I hope that I can more readily accept that your expectations of me, whatever they are in full alignment with a truth that I'm still in the process of witnessing. Thank you guys so much for sharing the space with me. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. If you are watching on Facebook, please share this video out, heart it, send it in people's inbox, post it everywhere, whatever it takes. I'm hoping that there will be things to share, profound things to share very, very soon. More than just what I know is coming, but beautiful development in the projects I have going. Okay. Thank you, Moonrock. Moonrock is commenting to please check out the link that she has. I'm going to post this on Facebook. Let me just post it really quick and pin it. So we're having a raffle. Excuse me. We're having a raffle. And the winner of the raffle will win a 2-hour meditative experience with me. A song will be custom created for you based on your frequency and your energy. On top of that, I'm going to be working on your entire energetic system. You have 2 whole hours with me. We're going to do meditation. We're going to do energy work. We're going to pull cards. We're going to get you guidance and get you very, very situated in your place of center. It's a once in a lifetime thing. I don't typically offer this as a service. I've never offered it as a service, but it's something that only takes $1 to enter. Every dollar that you donate will get you another entry into the raffle. I might have to push back the date of picking the winner. Simply because of a few projects I have going on. But tentatively, this raffle is set to end on April 22nd, with the winner picked live on April 26th. We will see the dates, but it's not going to be pushed out too far if it has to be pushed out. Enter the raffle. If you can't enter it, the best way to show support is by sharing it out to other people who you know would enjoy that 2 hours with me. One lucky person is going to win, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. All right, I got to get going. The energy is going to burst my eardrum. So I got to go. Thank you guys again so much for sharing this space with me, okay? All right, bye everyone.